A group of lot owners on Beaver Lake are banding together to help fund spillway construction. More on that, plus Pfaffenweiler Burgermeister Dieter Hahn is our special guest on Monday with the Mayor this week, and Pat Miller with the Forest Park Band Boosters is tonight's guest on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin with tragedy. A weekend accident in Harrison County claimed the life of the reigning Miss Crawford County. At around 12:30 Saturday morning, Harrison County Sheriff's deputies were called to a single vehicle accident along Tree Drive in Palmyra. Authorities say when they arrived on scene, they found the driver, Dakota Alexander, sitting on the south side of the road. Police also found a blue vehicle on its roof in the middle of the road with an unresponsive woman, 20-year-old Abby Sutherland of Leavenworth, inside. After pulling Sutherland from the vehicle, authorities were unable to revive her, and she was pronounced dead. Alexander was airlifted to University of Louisville Hospital for treatment of his injuries. Harrison County deputies say the vehicle was traveling west on Tree Drive when it went off of the north side of the road for an unknown reason. The vehicle then hit several trees, rolled over, and came to rest on its roof in the middle of the street. Of course, Sutherland was this year's Crawford County 4-H Queen. She was named Miss Crawford County in early July. Well, it's now official. Vincennes University Jasper campus has its next leader. In a news release, Vincennes University officials announced that Dr. Chris Gray will serve as the next dean at VUJC. Gray will replace the retiring Dr. Alan Johnson once classes get underway on August 24th. Gray most recently was the Dean of Arts and Communication at Illinois Central College in East Peoria, Illinois. Gray was one of two finalists who came to Jasper for a public forum. During his forum, Gray spoke mainly about workforce development. Gray stated workforce development is a problem he's quite familiar with, having dealt with it during his time at Illinois Central College.
We really found that while we had arbitrary divisions, when we were talking about a true economic development plan and how do we make the area a place where people want to come to work and make sure there are jobs, and then make sure there are highly trained individuals with specific skills for those industries.
Gray also touched on equity when it comes to dealing with people, along with his ideas for increasing enrollment. As mentioned, Gray was one of two finalists for the job. The other was Dr. John Barry. A third finalist, Nathaniel Slayton, dropped out of the process prior to the forums getting underway. Private support is being sought for a spillway reconstruction project at Beaver Lake. The Friends of Beaver Lake group is currently seeking donations to help fund the project. The group is working to cover the $380,000 it would cost to rebuild the spillway and to raise the level of the lake back to where it was prior to the current spillway being built. The group says funds that it raises will eventually be given to the city of Jasper, and all contributions are tax deductible as they are going towards a public project. John McGovern is part of the Friends of Beaver Lake group. He says fixing the spillway would save lot owners a lot of potential headaches.
A lot of the docks were set up years ago, and how there's less water in the lake, and that means it used to be 4 foot deep, now it's only 3 foot deep. So maybe the dock used to be a foot off the water, now it's 2 foot off the water. So there's a greater chance of injury for people jumping and diving in, but also, it goes back to a lot colder. They would have to be responsible for changing their dock setup.
McGovern says the group plans to present a proposal at the Jasper Park Board meeting next Tuesday and at the Jasper Utility Service Board's regular meeting on August 17th. He says the group has already informed city officials that they plan to be at both meetings. Now, Friends of Beaver Lake says the deadline for pledges is coming up next Tuesday, August 11th, and checks will be collected sometime around August 15th. The group says should the project happen, construction would start this fall and be done by the spring of 2016. For more information or to make a contribution, you can email friendsofbeaverlake@gmail.com. Now, last month, the Jasper Utility Service Board decided against moving ahead with the spillway reconstruction. The recommendation was first adopted at a Water Committee meeting in mid-July. At that committee meeting, Jasper Gas and Water Manager Ernie Hinkle stated the rebuild was not needed since the city's use of Beaver Lake has changed through the years.
From the on-go of the lake, it has been used only once as a actual emergency backup water supply due to drought. The other time it was needed was during our most recent drought, when the Beaver Lake project was being done and the lake was empty and we couldn't use it, but we could have at that time. We have a very good working relation with the Corps of Engineers out of Louisville, and if we need any water, they're more than happy to help us.
The current spillway was built by Columbus-based Force Construction back in 2012 at a total cost of $3.3 million, most of which was paid through EPA and state grants. And finally tonight, the 2015 Strassenfest is now in the books and ended in grand fashion with this year's parade. Strassenfest officials say yesterday's parade was the largest in the 37-year history of the Strassenfest. More than 130 entries took part. Winners for this year's parade were announced earlier today. They are Jasper Community Arts for the Heartwarming Award. St. Ferdinand Church took home the Community Award. Ackerman Oil is this year's Chairman's Award winner. The Parade Marshal's Award went to the Knights of Columbus Council. Our friends from Germany won the Strassenfest Award. And the Hadi Shriners won the Best Shrine Group. Now, you will be able to watch the Strassenfest Parade in its entirety here on 18 WJTS. It airs next Thursday, August 13th at 7:30 p.m. following the local newscast. All right, coming up after the break, a special edition of Monday with the Mayor with Pfaffenweiler's Dieter Hahn, and later, Forest Park band booster Pat Miller is tonight's Informed guest. We're back after this.